Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a streaming freedom video bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net.
Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's Skyrim mod showcase on the PS4, we'll be traveling the roads together from Whiterun to Half Moon Mill to take a look at PS4 Northern Roads 1K. This was ported to PlayStation by Mod Author CegoPortsPSN, with original credit going to Mod Author JPSteel2. As we travel to Half Moon Mill, we'll be taking a look at some of the additions added by the mod, as it's not only doing the roads, but adding in other structures, as you can see right here. So, this is one thing to keep in mind. The wooden fence that you see that's been added here to greet you towards Whiterun may have some conflicts. As you can see right here, I have a modded building that is not a part of today's showcased mod. Now luckily, the day spa is not being interfered with. I'm still able to enter the door here if I so choose. However, keep in mind, depending on what modded building you have, or modded structures that have been added by other mods. For example, doomstones by certain mods can also be placed there, so you could end up with some minor to major clipping issues. So keep in mind that you should read the mod description in its entirety, so that things like this right here does not happen, as you could have conflicts otherwise. Right here we have a very nice addition by the mod that's been added with the signpost to greet you on your way towards Whiterun, as well as Draco back there. In any case, this is a very nice addition, very good looking signpost with these unique looking carvings that's been added here. Now another conflict that I purposely kept on is this right here. Would you excuse me a minute?
I rather enjoyed our little chat.
I'm talking with them, not you. This right here. So this is from Map Project Hippie. This mod adds in various trees to the areas, including outside of Whiterun, and as you can see, because the tree mod was left active, I do have some clipping. Nothing that's causing me crashing, but depending on how much of a stickler you are for this kind of thing, even tree mods could be affected by this particular mod and structures that are added. Speaking of various structures added by the mod, as you travel the various roads, you may come across these small wooden gates, or these unique looking wooden carvings that decorate the landscape. Speaking of landscape, one thing to note is, looking directly at it, you can see that it is kind of a flat texture, not real 3D looking. However, under a completely normal view of the way you would normally play the game, this is not at all noticeable, and the roads look absolutely fantastic. Some of the best looking dirt roads in my opinion that I've seen that aren't simply just stone recolors. One thing to note also is that right there is not a part of the showcase mod. Something that is a part of the showcase mod that will be coming up to here on our way to take a turn up towards Riverwood is that you'll see this tent that we saw from earlier. These do decorate the different areas, and there is another one placed a little further on up that way. And I don't recall, I think this might have been added too. I don't remember that being there. I don't have a great memory, guys. This definitely is added. These bridges are very unique. One thing to keep in mind with this mod is it changes up all the vanilla bridges in game. So if you're using something like I have, which was Bridges of Skyrim, it will need to be disabled so that it does not conflict with this mod. As far as I know, the items that are included on the bridge are just for decoration. I don't believe that you can interact with these, but it still looks very nice. Also, something else to note, looks like followers might have trouble getting around, or NPCs, some of the structures that are added. Like you see right here, where this signpost is added, however, I did not shut off Point the Way, and oddly enough, that signpost is only partially here. So again, that is conflict that you might have to keep in mind. Take a real quick look at this bridge too. I believe they are, yeah, they're exactly the same, but these are extremely nice. I think this is a highlight of the mod. Now, not all the bridges look this nice though. There are a couple that definitely, I think, Bridges of Skyrim look much better than what bridges added by this mod does. Oh, something else to note, these structures that are right here, they are part of the showcase mod. However, these are not. These are from a separate one that I'm testing to see if there are conflicts. I guess something's trying to interrupt. Thanks, Sophia. Getting back to the showcase, you can see that this here was added by the mod. Don't know about those two things there, but definitely this right here, as I travel this road quite often, and this has been added by the mod. As you can see, this tree normally would not be here, and this is not from a tree mod, so keep that in mind that the mod even adds in trees. I don't know to how many various areas. Gonna go ahead and run till we get up to Riverwood, because I don't know how long it's gonna take for us to get to Half Moon Mill. That's why I didn't go into Tracy's page this time to showcase how to actually find the mod, but don't worry, all the information that you need will be provided at the very beginning of the video, including the search term. Also note that the mod has several different patches for it, depending on what other mods you might use, and there is a standard PS5 version. At the date of the recording of this video, I think I just caught the 1K version for the PS4 being uploaded, so there was no PS5 version yet, but I would assume there will be soon. So this structure here has been added. Basically, anytime you see something like that, you can guarantee it's been added by Northern Roads. And then also, speaking of things added, the bridge right here has been changed by the mod. As you can see, it's been in much need of repair, I would say. About ready to fall through. And for this particular bridge, I don't like the change. I much prefer the one that I had with Bridges of Skyrim that's normally placed here. Unlike with those other bridges, which I prefer those bridges over the ones that Bridges of Skyrim added. But in any case, I do believe there could be a patch to remove the bridges and some of the structures to where you just have like the dirt road that you see here. But I do think one of the highlights of this particular mod is the various other things that it adds in. And I'm not certain on that patch, as I only kind of quickly glanced at it as I was looking this mod over. Okay, let's see. That was there before, and I do believe that sign was there before, pretty certain.
A fine day to you, friend.
So let's go ahead and run back up again until we get to the next thing that we're going to be taking a look at. As a little ways up this, there's definitely something that I remember was not there before. Did somebody just shoot an arrow at me? Why am I not surprised? The Wolves was added by Todd Howard. Or whoever it was that placed the various character models around in the game. Todd was the one that instructed him to do that. Then up here, you'll see that we have a small abandoned hut that's been added by the mod. And some familiar looking clutter there. You can go inside here, but as you see, not much really in here. It's a fire hazard.
Skyrim might
Again,
be
the
a
tree
cool
kind of
place
clipping
with
through there
miserable
could be
people,
from the various
but
tree mods that
after
I'm
a few
using.
drinks, you don't really notice.
Oh, that right there,
Speaking
that's from
of
a separate
which,
mod, not
I'm getting
included
a
with
little
this one.
thirsty.
As we get up here to the Guardian Stones, one thing to note is it looks like there hasn't really been any change up here. I think that was done purposely because there's so many different mods that changed those, so they left it alone so it wouldn't do a conflict, or at least it didn't look like anything changed up there. Also, you'll notice I have grass going through the road here, which is fine for me. I think nature should be kind of taken over. It's a civil war after all. Okay, I think that is because I left Point the Way on, and I guess it cold it out or something, because that there was added by the mod. So that one was added, but this one I do believe is from Point the Way. In the rate, there is a civil war going on, so the roads are not going to be nice and neat, so it does make sense nature to be taking them back over. However, for those of you that are a stickler about grass growing around and through the road, I do believe there is a patch to remove it. I don't know though, I think it was released before the 1K version, so I don't know if they work with that, and I haven't tested it with any version. The structure there from a separate mod. I haven't tested it with any, so I don't know if it does work, but there is a patch. Also, I should point out the flowers that you've been seeing as we go through, that is from a separate mod. They're very beautiful and definitely go good with this landscape. I purposely left stuff on that I thought could have some like minor conflicts to see just how bad it would be. Anything like a bear. Anyways, anything that was like tree mods or the signposts that you saw, or like these structures right here, this is either Kyrick's Bundle or Prettier Roads. I can't remember which. I think Kyrick's Bundle adds those in. I wanted to see if, I thought it would be just a minor conflict, if, you know, clipping issues and stuff, I wanted to see. And then if it was a major conflict like the bridges, obviously I did not allow the bridges of Skyrim to remain active. And I don't recommend that you... I think that was added also. I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend that you definitely read the mod description, because as you can see on just the short time that we've been touring the roads, this adds in quite a lot. It is absolutely beautiful. Coming up here, you'll see something else that's been added in by the mod. So I do believe that signpost has been added in, but most notably besides that is these right here. Why does it sound like something keeps shooting at me? Oh, it's a poor deer. Any rate, these have been added in. They're unique looking, and there's no one right there. Let's see, this is the way to Half Moon Mill, I think. Probably should turn my compass on, but I wanted to give a nice clear view of the roads here. And again, obviously, this is just a small section of what you can expect with the mod.
It certainly has turned out to be a rather miserable afternoon.
How you figure that? It's gorgeous. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Sophia? Any rate, getting up here, yeah, this is turn off the half moon. I wanted to point this out. So I have the mod Dream Mover Ports a Call, which adds in these various kind of things around the carts, and you'll notice that it's floating with this mod. It hadn't been before. So is the cart. And I have placed this near the bottom of the load order, like it said to. Also, right here is something unique looking, but I do believe this is intentional. You'll see that this is another one of unique bridges. This one has actually been, like, collapsed down into the water. Nature's taking it back over. The water is actually running over it. Actually looks quite cool. So you can see, like, the devastation of the Civil War and stuff like this got destroyed in the battle. Definitely different than what I'm used to with bridges of Skyrim. That places one right there. Then, as we make our way to Half Moon Mill, you'll see that we have another one of those unique looking wooden structures that we saw a little earlier on. Again, the flowers that are right here are not a part of the showcase mod, they're from a separate one, but they go very nicely with it. I think it really enhances the terrain overall. So, now that we have arrived at Half Moon Mill, that is the end of our journey together here in Skyrim. There's obviously many more roads with many more additions to be able to take, but I just wanted to kind of give you a small taste of traveling the roads of what you could expect with the mod installed. If you are going to install it, please make certain to read the mod description in its entirety before you choose to download and install it, because otherwise, depending on what you're using, you could have many different conflicts, as again you see, the mod does a great deal. Thank you to the mod author that ported this to PlayStation. Thank you to the mod author that created it. And thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Take care.
This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.